Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. My name is Cristin, and today I'm going to be doing the 10 baby name videos that I like but won't be using, plus the one I will be using. So baby name reveal will be in this video, so make sure you watch to the very end, or I mean you can skip ahead, but don't skip ahead, watch the whole thing. So if you guys are new here or are new to catching on to my pregnancy videos, I am having a little boy. I am 26 weeks pregnant, and so I'm gonna start off giving you guys all of the girl names that my husband and I had thought of. So the first girl name was Micah. We thought of that one because my husband's name is Michael and he goes by Mike. So we thought it'd be really cute if we had a little girl to name her after her daddy. But that is the name that we were considering for a girl. That was like our runner-up name for a little girl, was Micah. The second little girl name we were talking about using was Ira, which I know is traditionally a boy's name, but it just seemed really gender neutral to us. We really liked it, and we were kind of toying around with using Ira for a little girl. The third name we kind of tossed around a little bit was Ember. I love Ember. I think it's such a pretty name, like a little flame, a little ember. I love it. We never really talked super seriously about girl names past Micah and Ira, but I had suggested Ember and my husband said that he liked it, so I don't know that we would have actually used it, but it was one that we were kind of, you know, tossing around. And then these next two names I never actually brought up with my husband. I just liked them personally because like I said, we didn't really get much far past Micah and Ira with little girl names, but Michelle was one I really like. It's my mom's middle name, and I was kind of thinking Micah Michelle would have been really pretty, but we'd never really put a middle name to Micah. That was kind of something that was in the back of my head, but I wanted to see what my husband's thoughts were first, because I came up with Micah, so I wanted to see if he had any middle name suggestions. But we ended up having a little boy, so the conversation never really went that far. And then the very last one is Mally, and Mally was my grandmother's name. Again, not something I ever brought up with my husband, but I always thought Mally was really just a cute and pretty name. However, I'm a little conflicted with the idea of using it because my grandma didn't like her name. Her name was Cristin, and she always went by Cristin. And I'm actually named after her. My name is Cristin, but the way it's spelled, it's like a derivative of Cristin. So just because my grandma never liked her name, her first name, I was a little hesitant to really suggest using Mally, but I've always thought it was pretty. Okay, so now here's my list of 5 baby boy names that we like but won't be using. The first one is Tobias, and this one I grieved a little. I had to let it go. I loved Tobias. I loved that name. I thought it was our second runner-up when we had our first boy, who was named Levi. I always thought that if we had another little boy, we would name him Tobias. I thought my husband was on board with that name, and then we could call him Toby. But once we found out this baby was a boy, he very quickly informed me that I was the only one who liked the name Tobias. So that went out the window very quickly. I was very sad, but that's okay. I love the name that we've picked, and I feel like it really suits this baby, and I'm really excited to be using the name that we picked out together. So but yeah, I like Tobias. I think it's a great name. I know it's a really old name, but of course you have the nickname of Toby to go with it, and I just feel like Toby's great for a little kid name, and then maybe teenager, and then Tobias is grown man kind of a name. So we got some nicknames there. The next one we had here that we talked about was Sebastian. My husband and I both really like this name, and if I said, go for it, we would have went for it, because I was the one who had the hesitation with using Sebastian. However, I feel like there's no good nicknames to go with Sebastian, and it's such a big name, and I feel like there's a possibility our kid would get made fun of for it. I don't know, I guess kids can be mean, and they could get made fun of for the simplest name. If kids are gonna make fun of somebody's name, they're just gonna do it, even if it can be the most common of names. However, I just felt like Sebastian was so uncommon that I was afraid it might really tip the scale towards them getting made fun of. Not to mention you have Sebastian the crab from The Little Mermaid, so I don't know, we never we're not using it. I like it, but we're not using it. This next one my husband came up with, and it's Myles. I don't mind it. However, there's currently a cartoon out for Disney. It was on Disney Junior. Now I think it's on like just regular Disney Channel, but it was Myles from Tomorrowland. And every time I hear the name Myles, it makes me think of that cartoon. So if it hadn't been for that cartoon, that might have been the name we went with. But I just started thinking about that theme song, and it just gets stuck in my head, like the Myles from Tomorrowland. And I'm like, no, we're not naming our kid that. This next one is also a really old name, and that is Malachi. I really like the name Malachi, I really do. And my husband was okay with it too. But again, I feel like it's so old, and I just don't know that there's any really good like nicknames to go with it, that I don't know. I just wasn't comfortable enough using it. I mean, nothing against old names. I really like old names. But I don't want them to be like so out there that they're too different, I guess. Which is weird considering the name that we picked. But yeah, we're not going with Malachi. We didn't talk too seriously about it. It was more just like we both liked it, and we never really went any further than that. This next name I really liked. It was Eli. My husband said no to Eli because one of his nephew's name is Elijah. And he said there's too many Elis in the family. Granted, Elijah does not go by Eli. However, my husband still said no. So we're not going with Eli. But I thought Eli would be cute because then we have Levi and Eli. It's super rhymey. But like, no, my husband nixed it. So not going with that one either. But also a name that I really like. Okay, so the baby name we are going to go with, drum roll, we are going with Ira. I know I mentioned it as a girl name, but like I said, I felt like it was gender neutral, and Ira is traditionally a boy's name. Ira is a very old name. However, it's the one name my husband and I could both agree on and we both really liked. And the reason I think we like it so much is that's kind of like an old family name. My great-grandpa's name was Ira. And then my husband's grandpa's name was Ira. So we are going with Ira for our little boy, and their middle name is going to be James, which was my maiden name. So they are going to be Ira James. So I love it. I really like it. I wasn't exactly settled on it at first. At first it was kind of like, you know, we'll keep this as like the forefront name because it's the one thing we can both agree on. But like it's subject to change. Like the further along we get in the pregnancy, like the more I like the name, like Ira James. I just really like the way it flows together as like a first and a middle name. So I'm excited. I like it. You guys have to let me know down in the comments below what is your favorite baby name if you feel like sharing. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. So make sure you give it a big thumbs up and subscribe. And I will catch you in the next one.